Ultima series and other Origin products to the European market, and we got to know each other. Yes, it started out by drinking Mississippi mudslides at the Gloucester Bar in London during a European computer trade show. And
who was it? Was that Dallas's drink? I can't remember. Who was it? Was it Richard? I think it was Richard.
I think it was a Richard drink.
Richard thing,
yes.
Right.
But the funny story.
Do you remember what's in a Mississippi mudslide?
Kahlua and vodka and brandy
and Bailey's.
And Bailey's, yes,
there you go.
Exactly. And the funny story there is we brought Richard over as Lord British, of course, and in the European market there, it was very popular to have a stand, and on the stand you had celebrities, and then those celebrities were often dressed up. So we had Richard over. I had just met him, but he was Lord British. So we said, Richard, please put on your Lord British gear and come down to the stand at Earl's Court. And so he did. He put on all of his get-up and stuff, and he was standing out there on the stand, and I'll never forget it. I was standing next to him. He wasn't up there but 15, 20 minutes, and some Englishmen walked up to him and stood right in front of him and looked him straight up and down and said, "So, who the fuck are you supposed to be?" So at that moment we realized we were in a country that actually had a monarchy and had royalty, and here he was as an American of British birth, at least, sort of doing the persona of Lord British. So
I could have told you that you got to massage that in England.
Yes, it didn't quite fly on direct interpretation, and so Richard excused himself very politely and went off to the restroom. Immediately took off his garb and did not come back as Lord British. That was the end of the Lord British appearance for the European Computer Trade Show at that time. So yes, so that's how we met, and so I joined the Origin team as Microprose went public, and actually joined Richard's brother Robert Garriott up in New England, which is where the publishing operations were, and one small development group up there. We had Paul Neurath doing a product, Space Rogue,
and Paul Neurath. I mean, I'm not sure Paul gets enough credit in the industry, because I think maybe some of the people or the tech that was done there, but Ultima Underworld came out of Blue Sky. You want to mention some of the other ones, or
well, Paul, he had Blue Sky Technologies at the time. He was an independent contractor, but published through Origin, and so we published first Space Rogue. I think there was something else before that. I'm trying to remember what it was. Then Space Rogue, and then he continued to do titles for us and others. And eventually he, a few years down the road there, partnered with Ned Lerner, an old colleague of his. Ned Lerner, of course, of Chuck Yeager Flight Simulator fame back in the day. And they partnered together and formed Looking Glass Technologies in Boston. And so I did some work with them for a little while as well on a consulting basis to help them launch Flight Unlimited, which was designed by Seamus Blackley. Just hired him right out of college with his PhD, and because he was also a pilot as well as a PhD in physics, brilliant guy. He did Flight Unlimited for that particular team, and then he went on after a while to co-found the Xbox at Microsoft, and so he's got quite a career, and he's doing classic games now.
Other people, Looking Glass, Doug Church.
Oh yeah.
There's
a
lot
real
of
powerhouse of talent
that came out of that. Yeah.
Up in Boston. Yep. So down here, meanwhile, Richard Garriott and Dallas Snell, who was another producer in the group at the time, and eventually ended up heading up product development. He and Richard mutinied out of New England and decided Austin was a better place to be. The girls were prettier, the weather was nicer, and the people were friendlier. So they came down this way and set up Origin Studios in Austin in around about 1985, I think, 86.
I think it was 86.
86?
Because I came across to visit my parents, because my father had just moved across to Austin to teach at University of Texas from England, Manchester. And I did that in '86, and like Richard had just set up shop, and
Right.
there was only about 5 people. So I first met them. Actually, I think I may not have even may have been at the end of '86, and then maybe I think started to work together in '87. But yeah, it was in '86. I think they sort of set up towards the end of '86.
Yeah, you were already here, and but did you first start working with a company in England doing things, or did you?
Yeah, no, I was making games in England, so I made.
Right, but you didn't work with Origin at the time.
No.
That relationship started once you got to Austin.
Once I got here, what happened?
Family.
Yeah, when I got here, I took a year off from university, which I never ended up going back to, and I was working on